Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about calculating the volume of spheres. The volume of spheres. It'll be a pretty short lesson today, so if you could pay attention for the next 4 to 8 minutes, I don't know, like 15 minutes. Could really use your help today. I really want to encourage you guys to pay attention. Your quizzes, I have a feeling just about everyone's going to redo them. They are awful. I have graded the first page, and the average score is about 6 out of 16. Like, it's bad. I think you either got it or you didn't get it. A lot of people did the surface area when they were supposed to be doing volume, or volume when they were supposed to do surface area, where they just kind of made up some equation, or didn't even write down an equation. I was giving a point for writing down the equation, a point for showing work, a point for the right number, and a point for the right units, and some people are getting -4 on all that. That's kind of a mess. So what I would encourage you to do, we're going to basically take the exact same quiz as test again on Thursday. The only thing we're going to do is I'm going to add spheres and well, that's spheres, surface area and volume of spheres. So I'm going to grade the quizzes, and we're going to see how they fall, and we'll talk about it later. So my suggestion to you, make sure that you're paying attention today. Make sure that this makes sense. Make sure you can either memorize the formula or that's written on your green sheet would be great. That'd be a really huge step for you to make sure that you have your green sheet. It's online. It's been online since I handed them out forever ago. So if you don't have your green sheet, you can always print one off, and you can have a white green sheet. So do that. Okay, so please pay attention. If you didn't have the right formula, you probably did not do well on the quiz, and I'm having a hard time grading it because so many people do such weird things for it. So it's going to take me a little while to grade them. I kind of stopped after a while because I was so discouraged. So, but you know what? Some of you did really well. I haven't even graded the whole first page of everybody's. So maybe the last 4 or 5 are going to be awesome, and it's going to just brighten my day. So we'll see how it turns out. That's like that. But please pay attention, guys. I really want this to go well. I know you're thinking about spring break. I'm thinking about spring break. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be awesome. We're now going to talk about the volume of spheres. Maybe I didn't finish my thought. I know many of you are thinking about spring break, but we still have to get through the rest of this week first. So there it is. The volume of spheres. The volume of a sphere, the radius r, is given with the formula volume. I'm just going to write it down here. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. So whatever your radius is, it's 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi r cubed. If I was to calculate this, let me just make something. Then we'll do it on the next page. 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi r cubed. What's our radius in this case?
3.
3. So our radius equals 3. So when we calculate this, we're going to do 4 times pi times r is 3. We're going to take that cube, and we're going to divide that whole thing by 3. 4/3 is the same thing as multiplying the top by 3, or I'm sorry, the top by 4, and dividing the whole thing by 3. So it's just an order of operations thing. It's not really a huge deal. So 3 cubed is 27. 27 times 4 is 108. So I basically have 108 pi divided by 3. Let's see, 108 divided by 3 be 27, 9 times 1, 36. I know, 36 pi. And we're going to take this probably, I don't know, let's do the nearest tenth, I guess. So what do you guys get? It's probably over 100. 113.09, so it's 113.1. And we'll say units. What would the units be for volume?
Cube.
Cube.
How do you find them?
How do you find them?
Cube. Like, I don't understand. How does that work?
Okay, so how do you find that cube? Here's the key concept. The 3, this is 3 units, right? So if I was actually write units in here, I'm actually cubing them right here. That's where it's units cubed.
I know. How do you find, like, cube? Like, what do you do? I don't understand how you got... I don't understand how you got 180.
In case you're curious on how to cube something, carrot problem and 3. So if you want to do something more power, you just hit whatever. Caret 4 or caret 5, you want to do the fifth power.
4 pi.
I want everyone to try number 2 on its own with a 1/2. I want you guys to try the 1/2 on your own. Sam, turn around and work on the 1/2. Sam, do you have a calculator? You're gonna need to. You need to get one. One-half cubed would be 1 cubed, which is 1, and 2 cubed, which is 8. So you have 1/8. 1/8 times 4 is 1/2. So basically, I have 1/2 pi. I have 1/2 pi. 1/2 pi over 3, which is kind of a mess. The way you solve that is basically you flip that down, so it's going to be pi over 6. There's going to be like 0.5 grams or something like that.
4.52.
0.52. If we round the nearest tenth, it's just going to be 0.5. It's kind of a mess. And again, it's cubic units. So again, 1/2 cubed is going to give you 1/8. 4 times 1/8. If you cut a pizza into 8 slices and you get 4 of them, how much of the pizza you get? You got 1/2 of it. You get half the pizza. Half the pizza pie. Yeah, half the pizza pie. And then 1/2 on top, you actually flip that down to 2 on the bottom. So that'd be 1/6, of course, pi divided by 6, which is where we're at. About. Again, if you just use a calculator, I'm just trying to do it in my head. You guys are doing this. What's different about the third one? It gives you the diameter. Okay? So it gives you diameter equals 4.2. So what does your radius have to equal? 2.1. Okay? Sam, how do we do this third one? What do we write down? I'm sorry, what was that? Cube divided by 3, yes. Okay. So if I was to do this, I would just type in 4, I type in pi, I type in 2.1 cubed, so caret 3. I'd get that answer, which is 116 point something, and I would divide by 3. My answer is 38.8.
It'll be 39.
38.79. 38.8. Again, these are cubic units. Let's talk for a second about the next problem.
Wouldn't that be like
So here's the question. What is the name of this shape? It's called a hemisphere. Okay. Several people on their test, they didn't have that right. Hemisphere was one answer on the test. Hemisphere is basically half a sphere or half of a globe, if you want to think of it that way. How long is the radius of this hemisphere? 3/4. Okay. Do we need to cut that in half again? No, because we're still thinking about radius. Okay. But what's going to go on with the formula? It's going to be kind of half of this. So what's half of 4? 2. So if we wanted to, if we're just doing the volume of a hemisphere, we could just say it's 2/3 pi r cubed would be the way to think of it. Because half of it half of 4/3 is 2/3. Okay, like if you had a pizza that you're cutting 3 slices each, those are big slices, I love it. And all of a sudden you had 4 of them, but then you're like, now you need to split those with your brother. You're like, come on. Well, your brother gets 2 and you get 2. So you get 2/3. Yeah, I don't like it either. Okay? So we have 2 times pi times 3/4 cubed over 3. What's 3 cubed? 27? What's 4 cubed? 64. So this is 27 over 64. All over 3.
Wait.
I was just cubing it.
I got 9.
And then if we were to multiply by 2, that'd be 27/32. This is going to be a mess. 27/32. So that'd be 32 pi over, let's see, 3 times 27. That's 6, 7, 8, 81. That'd be your exact answer in case you're ever expected to do exact answers. But I don't know if you're ever going to have to do that.
I'm so confused.
Why are you confused?
What if we converted the fraction to a decimal?
Well, what'd you get as the final answer?
2.65.
Yeah, I got points.
Oh boy, maybe I better try this again. Okay, some people are getting 0.9, so let's see what's going on.
Yeah, that's okay. I got
3/4 cubed. 3/4 cubed should give you 0.42 approximately. You're going to multiply that by 2 pi, so on top you're at 2.65. When you divide that by 3, you're at 0.88, so 0.9. 0.9, and again there's cubic units. What I have is 0.88, 357, etc. Okay, on the back side.
Where's the backside?
So turn it over to the back. Okay. How could this be different? Do you think they're going to give you pictures every single time? No, they're not. Okay? They could just write, hey, your radius is 4 meters. Find the volume. They could do that. Okay? They could also say, hey, your diameter is 2. Well, that's about 2 centimeters. The other thing they could do is they could say, oh, your, I don't know, your diameter equals, 9 pi. Is that a big deal? Then you're just going to divide that by 2, whatever it is. Okay? It's kind of a weird thing that they might do. They could give you all sorts of weird decimals. They could also give you some story problems if they really wanted to. Who knows how that might work out. But you're basically going to find the volume of a sphere. A couple things to remember. Okay? Volume equals 4/3. Wow, that's a bad 4. Pi r cubed. Okay, 4/3 pi r cubed. That's the formula. Their units are always going to be cubed. For volume, your units are always cubed. Okay? And your diameter is always twice your radius, or your radius is your diameter divided by 2. Okay? Always remember those things. What we're doing is there's just some tips for you as we're working on this. You guys have about a half hour to work on your assignment. There's only 10 problems. I don't see any difficulty with you getting them done, but let me tell you my expectations. As my expectations are every day in class, I want you to work on your assignment in class. I don't want you to say, well, I'm going to save it for study hall, or I'm going to save it for, after school. I really have this time that I need to work on homework. I want you to work on this assignment in class. Okay? I want you to work on it by yourself. Okay? Some of you guys, what I've noticed is that, you always partner with Nicole. Nicole knows everything, and all of a sudden it comes time for the test, and you don't do well, but Nicole does great. Every single one of your assignments, you do really well in your assignment because you have Nicole. While your test, you're not going to have Nicole. Okay? I don't want you to partner with anybody. I want you to do it yourself. I want you to work through it. I want you to make sure that you can do this on your own. Sometimes it helps to struggle a little bit. I think that's fine for you to struggle a little bit, because when you struggle and you finally figure it out, you usually feel good about it. Okay? I don't usually feel good when someone just tells me the answer. I feel like, wow, now I'm done with this. That's what I feel. I don't feel like, wow, I really accomplished something. Well, I didn't. They did. Okay? So I want you to work on this individually. Additionally, there are a few people in here that need to finish a quiz from last week. They're going to be doing that in here. during the next half hour. There's a few people that need to grade some things, but my expectation is that you are silently working on this. If you're not going to work on it silently, I'm going to send you in the hallway. Okay? And you can be silent in the hallway. And if I come out in the hallway and you're not silent, you're going to be going to the office. Does anyone have any questions about my expectations? Does everyone understand what silent means? Someone tell me what silent means.
No talking.
No talking. That doesn't mean I can turn around and whisper. That's not what it means. It means that you are silent. You're not asking for a pencil. You're not asking for a calculator. You're not asking anybody questions except for me. Is it? Does anyone have any questions about what silently working on your assignment means? Does anyone have anything that would benefit everyone in here? Okay. I'm going to pass out your assignments in a little while. I would like you to work on those in class.